Hi all, I hope everything has been good and you have been learning from our videos. I'm part of the Azure team, and I was told to share some of my content as part of the video that we have been creating at Arina Technologies. So I have been working on a lot of engagements, and I was one of the discussions on how an application should be storing the files to Azure BLOB, and we had a little bit of architectural chain exchanges, which I wanted to bring it up as part of this video. I hope you enjoy. And please like, subscribe, and share our channel. Now we all know in Azure we can there is like similar to AWS, there is Azure BLOB to upload the files, which is like unstructured data that also we call to upload to Azure. And that's one of the standard storage. It is similar to S3, similar to Google's cloud storage. And but usually one of the times architectures happen is that if there's a web client that is sitting on a browser, and usually we'll see that you need to upload your resume or you need to upload any other document, the standard architecture seems to be that there is an API layer, and the documents will be uploaded via the API and directly, and then the API will be the one responsible to go upload it to BLOB. Now, this is where I had a disagreement that this architecture pattern was fine if the application was on-prem, but in cloud, in Azure, we don't need to go with this architecture pattern. And what I was recommending was to go with Shared Access Signature, or in AWS it's also called a pre-signed URL, but start using this concept is what I was preaching. And some of the things I was telling them is a Shared Access Signature token. It provides secure delegated access to resources in Azure storage. It doesn't mean that it's going to be insecure, but it's definitely going to be all its security won't be compromised. But at the same time, you'd make your operation and your code development a lot more simplified. What is the purpose? It'll allow clients to access Azure stored resources without exposing any account keys. Now, this is very important. I'll show you in a demo what exactly I mean. What are the different types of SAS tokens? You can have account-level SAS token, which grants access to resources within a storage account. Service-level SAS tokens that provide access to specific resources. Example, blob, file, queue, or table within the storage account. And this is the SAS is what I'm going to demonstrate to you as part of this. And then the next one is user dedication SAS, which is created using Azure Active Directory credentials. And then how do you create a SAS token? Something I'll show you. I won't go with this. And then you'll also get to see the benefits, which will be like you get granular access control, where you can provide fine-tuned permissions. You'll have enhanced security as part of the setup, and flexible access scenarios where you can support operations like read, write, and delete. And as you can see, I'll just show you it'll be very simple to create, how you can go about creating the SAS token, the parameters that you need to provide, and we can also provide the time to live for the SAS token, how we want it to be, any IP restriction, and you can restrict it to just HTTPS. So let me show you what I mean by the architecture. This is the architecture what I mean. That comparing with the previous one, where the client, it will go by the API layer, and in turn, an API layer would be downloading a file. It can be some liberties, and then you upload it to a blob. The better pattern is that the client, whenever the user uploads the blob, it's using a SAS token, which is got from the pointed from when he logs into the website, and he would be provided the SAS token which has a time to live, and he can directly upload to the blob. And once he uploads to the blob, you can run your own file scanning tools to check whether the file doesn't have any malware or any viruses. Thus, it will definitely improve your security posture, reduce the application development, make your architecture a lot more simplified, and also save on the cost of the development and other things. So there are a lot more advantages to this architecture compared to the traditional one. Now what I'll do is, as part of this setup, I'll make a resource, and this is where I will go to. This is the Azure portal. You will see this. I will search here is blob. This is where I need to first create a storage account, because in Azure, you have to create a storage account. But instead of marketplace, let me just go here. This is a little better view. Yeah, because I just want this one and not that one. And I was testing this one, but let me start from scratch to show you. So we click here, click the create storage account, choose a subscription. I choose and this is how this choose the demo resource group. This is, I won't go into the details of all these things. You have to, again, this has to be a unique name. So, and it has to be lowercase. So I'll just, so this is what I'll use. I'll choose the region as East US. You may want to choose performance, standard, or premium. But for now, for this demo, I'll just choose it standard. I'll just leave it locally because it's just for demo purposes. And then you click on next. In advanced, you come in here. You allow the setup, I think, for the most part. We don't need SFTP. And this all is fine. You just leave these access tiers. And networking is what you do is you would. This is one of the things we were discussing because the organization was saying that you shouldn't be using public access. But this is where it's a misconception that even if you have public access, the container will be private and the data will be stored in the container. So it will never have public access. But to make this pattern work, the storage account itself has to be public. So a lot of organizations may feel that doing this way, it will be much better. But I think it's a misconception because you will kind of need to have a private endpoint, which you can't have for a web application, and you make your architecture a lot more complex. So for now, this is where I'll just keep it, but you could see these as well. But I'll just keep it because from the internet, you wouldn't know what IP address the browser will be coming from. So you have to go with this over the internet. And I'll just keep it to this one's over here, and then hit next. I just leave the default ones and hit next. Encryption. Definitely you should go with the customized key. But for now, I'll just leave this like this. And I'll just jump to review and create. And I'll create this. I'll just browse for file. Create a file. And if I go to this file, I will not be able to access it. Right, so I get a public access not permitted. But this is where I can generate a SAS token. And this SAS token, it can be at the object level, but you can also do it at the container level. This is the container level you can do. So for now, I'll just provide it at the object level. But when you're uploading, you will have to provide at the container level because you don't have the object yet. So you should always write a signing key. You should provide a policy, which is going to be here. The permission, the time to live of the token you want to do, and headly HTTPS 1D. And you do this generate SAS token. What you do is now, using this URL, you should be able to view the file. Because earlier you were getting this error, and now if I go here, I will get this logo of the file that you had to upload. So I hope you were able to see the benefit compared to this architecture where I have to write an API, a container, or any other function will have to download the file, process it, and then upload to Blob. If the file is a zip or an exe, there can be some malware. The VM will be handling that. There could be a lot of security risks with this pattern. And imagine their development complexity compared to this pattern, which is directly you get a SAS token. You could provide a SAS token session time to live for maybe 30 seconds. And if the user is not able to do, he has to again get the new SAS token. You could have those algorithms as part of that and be able to upload it. And then once it's done, it'll be a lot more simpler architecture. With that, please subscribe, share our channel, drop in a comment. Thank you.